themselves back into the series. If they did, we'd be going to a border for our third and final map, but we'll see if they can do it here. Take it away. I will see you guys on the other side.
First ban already rolling in, it being Osa. Now, once again, highlighting that outside play that I said you can do on Chalet. Osa really leans herself into that, especially on Master. You know, put one of those shields either on the window, on the balc, just take solar, what have you. Garage as well, outside the garage door for garage. Really useful there as well. Really useful in lobby, you know, for taking him through dining. So Osa, really good ban all around. Nook, always been a staple ban. She's seen some fall off in the ban phase now with Solus, but maybe 9Z want to ban? Yeah, want to ban Solus too. So Solus was up last map. I think we can agree that Team Cruelty fared better with said Solus than 9Z did. And Chalet is certainly a Solus map. So understandable they don't want to deal with her. Mira, the next ban, both teams playing Mira. So I'm a little surprised that Cruelty are taking her out of the pool. That leaves a Azami on the board. And there we go. Round one.
Round one, we're also potentially going to see this dock, which sometimes can either highlight one of two things to me. It's either one, going to be Spawn Peak City, or two, there's going to be a specific choke point here that Alan Durf is going to hold. Granted, we're going to
Library.
Games and Bar now, so yes, indeed, Library will be that one holding tight and close in that corner, the southwest corner in particular. Again, a lot of teams like to counter that nowadays as soon as they realize it, as soon as they see that dock, they can quickly try and switch to, you know, something like a Capital, barbecue that dock to death, and that's how you'll deal with it. But for now, 9Z aren't seeing that. They're going to keep their lineup the way it is. They are bringing, however, the Ying. Ying is still on the board here, Crow.
That she is. She was up last map, though neither team opted to bring her since round one, I think. Yeah, I remember Unfixed was playing her round one. Didn't really do anything. So, maybe if either team plays her, she'll have more of an effect. But either way, pretty standard operator lineup for a bar attack here. Your one hard breacher is going to be Hib. You don't really need a whole lot of hard breach beyond that. Thatcher is useful. Keep in mind, not just for opening walls, but also the plethora of utility that tends to be stacked up outside of blue. You can EMP right outside the window, and bam, all those ADSs, possible Wamiad magnets, etc. are down, and the shield is free. Also can deal with utility and library. My focal point is going to be, how do they deal with this dock holding the library corner? Well, it seems like the answer is going to be push master side. That way you can get a lot of long angles in the library, and the dog becomes a lot more endangered in that corner.
Certainly does. I mean, right now is the fact that 9Z are really getting stuck in. They've taken half of this map control. They weren't too afraid to take it as well from Trophy. They had Faxi enter through that Trophy point. No one was contesting it. It's given them a lot of breathing space. Presumably the flank drones would be set up too. Already the part where they need to position themselves in a place to start to work towards this library. They're not bothering with the take from the window. So at least maybe gives them a few opportunities of attack. Crazy indeed.
Oh, he gets this. If this sledge walks outside, Kicho gets this freebie. I guarantee it. Oh, and he just got misdroned.
Oh, no.
What, did you see him?
Only time will tell.
Here's the nade. It
No,
did
he
not.
didn't.
There it is. First pick for Kicho onto Unfixed, but it was actually... Oh, Unfixed actually got the pick before he jumped in. A nasty shot on the victory, but the refrags favor 9Z. 2v3 for Alan Durf and Rovi. Alan Durf and Rovi both having pretty good maps on Clubhouse. Know what they're capable of. They're no longer on the top floor. They've given 9Z full control of full control of the library, which is above bar. Luckily, they've killed the sledge. They don't have to worry about any vertical establishment for 9Z. All Team Cruelty has to do is bunker down on site, try to play the crossfires. 9Z are so desperate for vertical play, in fact, that they're using their Hibana for it, just to get some of those tiny default angles. There's 15 seconds remaining, and they have to make their way in now. Roby gets caught on main stairs, maybe not the position he really wanted to play there. Leaving the dog in the 1v3, he cannot connect, and Faxi lands the final kill. After such a great top floor hold, I would have expected Cool to come away with it, but a refrag from 9Z telling the story of that round.
Yeah, the refrags essentially won that. Again, the concern is that some of the fundamentals are still a bit squiffy. Things like the droning, completely unaware of the Azami tucked in on that window, the balcony, little bit squiffy. However, this is a thing that 9Z do really well when it comes to these final moments. Sometimes they're just able to win their ones. It's like, you know what, maybe it is a little bit chaotic. And that's where, if Team Cruelty do slip up, 9Z are able to take full advantage of that. We saw it on Clubhouse. The main issue is, again, attacker-sided map, arguably. Especially now you don't have that Solus in play. Granted, yes, the Azami is there. The Azami is so powerful in Chalet. There's so many places where you can just utilize her to your heart's content. No shield on Piano. It is going to be at the back of Piano, however. I like this little Azama Kiba barrier just to cover the double window rappel as well.
Got Flores too, so a lot of these Kiva barriers will likely be dealt with by him. Especially because there's no mute on the board. It's a bit odd. We talked about Azami being up. We also talked about Valkyrie. This is definitely a Valkyrie map with how destructible these floors are, with how vertical Chalet can be. Valkyrie is an incredible asset to any team, but she doesn't have C4. Grace, we have 8 impacts, only one of which has been used, which makes me think maybe they weren't supposed to take impacts. Echo could have had a shield. Valkyrie could have had a C4. I mean, I can't think of a situation where you would need more than 4 impacts when you have the Bailiff and maybe the shotgun from Vicho.
Yeah, especially when you have such a heavy presence upstairs, so they have to get that top floor control, and then you fall back to site and you start working those C4s. It's a safer way to deal with it.
An impact has been sent out by Toski. I don't know where. Default wall and office now being open, covered by the Azami of Alan Durf. 9Z have spent about almost 2 minutes now clearing this top floor. At least they have dining open. That's one step. Unfixed, now going below. Maybe looking to walk up West Main. The Echo Cams, of course, still alive for Team Cruelty. How are they going to deal with this? Because they've opened up like one of the walls in office, but it's not the wall that you need open to stop Team Cruelty from applying the vert on this site. And especially with the Azami who just plugged it up, I don't know how 9Z are going to attack.
I think that's a repeating theme throughout this best of 3. However, Faxi, willing to get a bit cheeky, looking for that opening engagement, not quite sure where to look. Ooh, and there we go, Underf is going to take him down. Toski falls in retaliation. Novi will fall too. This plant is going down. The Echo drone ready and waiting. Those yokais, we know how tricky they can be. Especially now the timer, it's ticking. Ooh, the slightest time there.
Oh,
and that may have won them the round. Shotgun in hand. Oh! Can he make this work? Yes, he can. Gorgeous stuff.
Wow. Now, I do have one big question for 9Z in that round.
Go on.
So at around the 20-second mark, that kill we saw from Novi on Atoski, Nilvi hopped through trophy window and got refragged by the echo of Gicho. Correct?
Correct.
Nobody else was downstairs with the echo. It was just Gicho. And they knew where he was. They knew he was going to play off the yokais because of the blast before that the attackers didn't deal with. They kill Alan Durf and Roby. Why is nobody rushing this echo? Why? They knew where he was, and yet they just let him play off the drones. It was really confusing decision-making for 9Z, thinking that, you know, if we just relocate next to a soft wall, everything will be fine.
Maybe a little tunnel vision, to be honest.
Maybe. I mean, honestly, it looked like, if not for the Echo, they might have won that round with, again, the trades going in their favor on site.
That's it, isn't it? Fortunate, really. Now, though, we're down to Basemonte. Again, a pretty, sometimes clunky site to defend. You know, 9 times out of 10, people are going to get that external wall in Garage open very, very quickly. I do think a lot of the setup that Team Cruelty have built are aimed more towards the wine hold. We also have Gucho here. Ready and waiting a trophy. Aggressive line of sight. Could potentially play the hatch as well. I think Faxi is aware of that too. Waiting for the potential of a flankaroonie to come through. But again, it looks like they're going for a wine take throw.
They're not playing a rooney this round. Thermite has dropped in. The red wall will be open. Which might prompt Roby to get aggressive. This is what happens when you stick this guy on smoke. But he'll fall back. Luckily. Navy is actively challenging this window. Do they know that he's there? Because they had someone stationed on the window. No, they did not. But he's about to lose the fight. Navy couldn't connect with enough shots, and Unfixed, who is there to support, ends up getting the opening pick. That's Oryx now dead. That's one player on the top floor gone. But now the attackers are leaving. They're leaving Gicho to his own devices. And he's got that hatch.
Ooh, dangerous. Prone position. After you've just opened such an aggressive angle into side, there we have it, Roby. Getting aggressive, a flurry of kills comes through, the feed lights up like it's disco time, ladies and gentlemen. A 3 versus 3. 9Z looking a little bit tagged. The Gucho is going to fall back a little bit. Ooh, Jasky getting taken out. That's going to lighten the load just a little bit. Again, though, they need to get in, and once again, they need to plant. Can they do it this time? No yokais in play to deny them. There we have it. 1 versus 2, Alan Durf. Can they prevent this collapse? I don't think they can. Plant is going down. Sneaky around the corner. Like a snake in the grass. He strikes. Gets 1. Can he get the second? Looks for the heads. Doesn't quite find it yet. Again, Victory. Too cautious right now. Doesn't want to go and stick it. Probably end up coming off it. Yes, indeed, he does. Dangerous predicament to be in the swing around the corner, though. There we have it. He was looking the wrong way. Lots of confidence there.
All right. Barring that weirdly played 1v1, I love the shift from 9Z, actually. So going for the execute and losing the initial couple picks since that Frost came west main and you had Gicho on the hatch, it was like 9Z instantly pumped the brakes. We're like, wait, hold on. There's guys upstairs. We gotta pause the execute. So Ace rotates up, kills Gicho, and starts pushing in from bar. And from there, 9Z don't care about the site anymore. They want to kill this Frost. They get the pinch going, and Alan Durf ends up alone on site. I love that from 9Z, knowing that they didn't have their bases covered at the beginning of the round because they thought Navy was the only guy up there, and they immediately went back and amended their mistake before pushing themselves too far in the bomb site. Alan Durf had an incredibly winnable round. Honestly, I think he should have maybe let the plant go down and played for the retake because he was stuck in a corner. Like, there was nothing he could do to get out there. At that point, you're just giving yourself away.
He also forced himself into a 50-50 chance split there because he held such a tight angle. He had to watch the right-hand side rotate like a hawk. If someone's going for a pre-fire, yeah, it's an uncomfortable one, that.
That was probably the worst position he could have tried to clutch that 1v2 from.
Yeah. Like
1v1 at that point. In comes out. Our game. So once they take that top floor, Ing's probably going to go either to the hatch, game's window, one of those two, start yinging into sight, get that plant down. That's going to be the goal at least.
Why does it feel like they might try and go a bit more direct this time? They're not trying the solo take. They're not taking any of that control. Currently, they're not even pressuring towards live from what I can see. We do have pressure on Fluke Balcony.
Oh, yeah, okay.
A little bit of quiet before the storm room.
What the heck?
Ex-Kairos to break Kiba
Oh,
barriers.
there's a Kiba there. I didn't see that. I was like, what did he just shoot that at?
Oh, here we go.
Oh, and Candela's already?
The collapse.
He's going to send it on in? No, they're not going to send it on in. They did that, I think, just to get Faxi into coat check, maybe? But she's in coat check now, nading close, but there's gas cannons just keeping him at bay. Smokes come out, and here we go. Now the Execute's getting underway, but Navy's got the opening pick on the Unfix. That takes out one of the Execute members who was supposed to go in along with Victory, and look at that. That's completely stunted the push. Victory no longer feels comfortable pushing in because he doesn't have that direct support with the Flores, and he's just wasted all of his Candelas. No more util for the Ying, not even any smokes. That one singular kill may have just lost 9Z the round because they were too afraid to push in without him.
And that's the issue too when you got the Rotaro drones and now you can't use any of them because you've gone for something direct and it hasn't worked. That's very awkward. No Candelas left, you know. 2 flashes on Nilvi? Is that enough to try and clear some of these very aggressive defenders? Well, there we go. Faxi actually gets one. Taking out the smoke of Navy. No more Toxic Babes to come out. No more SMG-11s to the face. Speaking of to the face, Rovi, a little bit nasty. Getting very aggressive on these stairs here, but what else can you do? The swing around the corner from Nelvi as Victory takes you down. Oh. Goodness me. A 2 versus 1. Poor Pixie gets taken out. And Cruelty. Gonna secure a cheeky little Dubbington there. Respectfully, Crow. A little bit chaotic, that one.
Disrespectfully, Grace. What the hell was that? I mean, I kind of talked about it during the round, you know, losing one pick and then, bam, all the Candelas are done. Your guy in coat check is getting repeatedly smoked off, so you don't have the crossfire. Like, if you want to go for a play like that, you need the coat crossfire, you need someone coming in from either lobby or short. How many of those did they have? None. That was 2 guys, 1 window. And one of them died, and then the other cowered away. Like, if you're gonna go for a play like that, it can't be half-assed. It can't be 2 guys going for it and 3 just, you know, how do I say this PG? 3 of them mucking about on the other side of the map. That was just ill-planned, ill-executed. That allows Team Cruelty to tie the score. Now we're going back to Dining, where they won this round too, off of that Echo. Hopefully 9Z are quick about it, and hopefully have like an actual clear this time, because they just left those guys upstairs alone.
On the IQ scanner to really be looking for these yokais. Ideally. In an ideal world where everything works out for the best. And already getting very stuck in. still a lot of droning to be done, though. And this is the thing, is again, are 9Z going to be able to be quick on the uptake as soon as they know these places are clear? It's something we saw them struggle a little bit on the first map with. Can they take this control quickly and swiftly? Can they use it to their advantage then? We've seen them get a bit more confident with taking these gunfights, and certainly, especially in those violent moments, they're very good at winning their ones.
Oh.
They just have to keep a little bit more time under their belt. And Oop is right, Crow. Free fires are getting a little bit spicy.
Cruelty just keep face checking over and over again, but they're not being punished. That could have been a kill from Rovi, who was still staring at the doorway, but he gets pushed back and softened up. And it appears as if Team Cruelty aren't too interested in continuing to contest that upstairs. Novi has one thermite left. There's an impact in the pocket of the Echo, and it's successful. That, ladies and gentlemen, is why the reinforcements are placed on the outside, so that you cannot avoid the impact trick. And now, what is Novi going to do? This is also, boys and girls, why you bring 2 hard breachers on this site. Just in case that happens. But they didn't. So now they can't get into dining. They're left with, like, Trophy, West Main, and the short door to try and push through. The short door, which definitely has feet holes on it, and the trophy window, which definitely has head holes on it. So really their only option is, like, West Main. If that.
And that's it. They need so much utility to try and deal with that. A flash does go through and unfixed to get a kill converted from that utility use. There we go. Nilvi is going to fall. There's no smokes left now. And Fix takes down Rovi. Poor and Fix now left in a 1 versus 3. Goodness me. What can he do? Most likely nothing. There's 10 seconds on the clock, Crow, where you just have a little bit of a break. Perhaps start talking about the next round. He is going to try and go for it, though. I respect it, but shotgun's to the face. That is the round over. Cruelty taking the lead now.
Yeah, that wasn't going to work. As soon as you lost your hard breacher, the round was over. At that point. Again, that's why you bring the redundancy. Because it really helps. You know, if let's say you bring like an ace or something like that to deny that impact trick. I mean, not much to say about that round other than Breach got impact tricked and they had nowhere else to push except trying to walk in. But in trying to walk in, they would have at least had a chance had they full cleared top floor. But by the time that the impact went onto the breach, there was what? Maybe a minute 20 left. Which, I mean, is a little bit of time. Maybe they could have got something going. But still, it would have been really close. And from there, even if they cleared full top floor, Echo could have rotated off the site and just clutched around with the yokais. So not a great attack overall from 9Z. And now for the first time this map, they give Team Cruelty the lead.
I think I'm very curious to see how Cruelty are going to approach their own attacks and what 9Z are going to do on their defenses. Because again, 9Z, it feels like their mechanics when it comes to these gunfights, that's the thing that seems to be going pretty swiftly for them. Maybe, again, I'm going to try and jinx anything, maybe some aggression would benefit from here. 2 entry points of the map being opened. I think there might be a little bit of library pressure coming through too, so that's at least good. Multiple dimensions to the way they want to approach this top floor. Even once again, a little bit of a trophy take just to help them get solo control a little bit easier. 9 times out of 10, you do expect someone lurking on this solar stairs, so I think it's a very sensible play for them. But are they aware of Alan Death here?
What is this?
Very strange shield setup in the bathtub with an ADS to cover it. Unusual.
All right, that is one of the weirdest shields I've ever seen on this side, just stuck in the bathroom. I mean, he's got, I think, all his ADSs on it. Probably some Womidus support from Rovi, too. So it could work. You can't destroy from below either, because it's in the bathtub, which is a hard floor. So maybe this works? It'd be really funny if it works. I don't think it will, but I hope it does. They have lost that first pick. We talked about Dicho getting Claymored on the run out. I also forgot there was a Flores, so they just do that. And there goes the shield as well as all the util protecting it. And victory, right off the Gone 6, gets a kill into sight, and the round's over.
And that keeps happening, right? This keeps happening. These flurry of kills are happening so quickly and so suddenly. It's kind of like a blink or you'll miss it. This has happened most of these rounds for the first half. Quiet before the storm. Massive quiet before the storm. And then suddenly an explosion of kills and the round's over before we can even blink. It's very chaotic. And I'm not sure whose fault that entirely is. I'm here for the fact that that was a pretty decent attack for, 9Z. Again, this is their map pick, though. I think I would have liked to have seen them get a few more rounds on the table. I'm very, very curious indeed to see how Cruelty approach this.
It's my fault, Grace. That's whose fault it is. I'm sorry. It's always my fault.
Yeah.
So Bar's up first. You said you were interested to see how Team Cruelty handles their attacks?
Yes,
we'll have
indeed.
an answer very soon. Everything being pretty normal. Although, we did not see Dokkaebi once from 9Z. At all. We saw Lion a couple times. Actually, Lion more than a couple. We saw Lion 4 times, I think. We even saw an IQ. We saw one Ying that turned out to be the most useless Ying I've ever seen. So Dokkaebi's new. Cruelty obviously favoring her roam clearing prowess, along with the ability to perhaps hack cams if you get the opportunity. So maybe a Gone 6.
Ooh. Potential bloodbath about to go down in dining, but Faxi is going to hightail it out of there. And see, choosing to play a bit safe, so already they're being a little bit more passive than perhaps I would have liked. Again, I wanted to see maybe a bit more aggression from them from the get-go, but they are playing this very patient, very safe, very close right now. I mean, already I prefer this setup that we see from the Azami. Again, the shield with the Kiba barriers. A very strong place to hold at the top of main stairs.
Especially with the Jaeger to support.
Especially with the Jaeger to support.
Gas canisters already coming out too from Nilv. Unfixed is getting aggressive over towards Piano. He catches Navy off guard, lights the Ash up to 1 HP, but that's all he's going to be able to get. The nade comes in to clear the Kiba and the shield, but it's Faxi with the opening pick. A follow-up from his teammate before Unfixed finally goes down, and it's just flurries from 9Z. 4v2, or 4v1. Pixie destroys Gicho on K9, and Alan Durf is left in a 1v4. So the first attack for Cruelty, definitely not going as planned. I'll be honest, I don't really know how like half their team died because we were so focused on the upstairs clear. I hope they didn't just try to take sight. Because clearing a blue shield should not be this difficult. It's like Chalet 101. Especially, they had 2 sets of nades, they had an Ash. plenty of stuns. Alan Dick, by the way, not using a single stun and then deciding to switch weapons as he vaulted through the window. I mean, it didn't really matter at that point. He was a dead man walking. But, yeah, no reason why that utility should have survived that long. Rich, how are we feeling about that first attack?
I have no diplomatic way of saying it. I don't know. It wasn't great. I definitely expected a bit more. We're seeing the the thinker. Let's see if these stick. We're already seeing a few changes. I think Cruelty's attack is started well, but they should have taken advantage of the breathing space that they had, right? They should have taken advantage of the fact that 9Z went a little bit passive there. That's when you you go up a bit more up close and personal. You start to work out how you're going to go for your site setup. It kind of fell apart a little bit quickly. So the Brava is being stuck. Okay, the Brava with the Lion. The Thinker isn't being brought to the table. Thankfully, they're taking the Iana instead. Pro, to be fair, we haven't seen a Vert nade yet. And whenever I think of Chalet, I always think of Vert nades because that's the easiest way to clear a lot of these positions.
It is. You know what we got instead? We got Brava, who does not have nades. But Chalet is a Brava map. A lot of those defaults, I mean, right? You hack Lobby, you hack West Main, you hack Blue. There you go. Every possible flank is covered. If you're feeling cheeky, you even hack Barrage. Solar. Every single cam really useful when it comes to the attack. In comes the Sledge of Rovi. Spotted the head of the Aruni for just a second. She's not exposed herself since. Lion Call goes out. Unfixed. He just now sees the Sledge, so they're aware that Rovi is pushed in. No one waiting for him behind the shield. The Aruni hears him starting to wrap around. That's why she's backed off. First kill goes to Navy. The Aruni, though, jumps on him after Pixie and Faxi both chime in. So sure, the defense has lost their smoke. They get 3 kills in return as Gicho now another on the Faxi, but it's your Lion and Zoe up against 3. 3 who are holding some pretty mean crossfires on the site, as well as still upstairs. His attack is not doing so hot.
It is not, and again, some of the pushes they're making to clear, and the chaos that happened in Closet then in Cubby. Very uncomfortable. And again, it feels like the Team Cruelty we're usually used to seeing. They're just not quite here right now. Drone Eco seems a little bit squiffy too. And as a result, they're just going in. They're just going in, having to face check, losing lives.
That's a pistol.
And there we have it. Face checking with the pistol. Pixie takes you down. You're now left in a very uncomfortable position. And is it a surprise the 9Z are able to collect that one?
Turns out the just walk-in top floor strat did not work. And thus, Cruelty are going to take a timeout. Good. They need it. They've lost 2 attacks on a row after a 3-3 split in the first half, which is not good. So let's see. What would they be just discussing in the timeout? Maybe, hey, let's actually use utility. Let's not just try and walk in and take fights, because that's not working. The drone economy's been pretty bad too. Maybe they can work on that. There's a whole lot to talk about for that timeout. I hope they got it all out in the last 45 seconds.
I personally feel like that timeout should have come a little bit sooner, but hopefully this will see them kind of working out the mistakes they're making. Again, that last round drone eco was so stinky. Need to be very mindful of that. You know, Solis is banned. We should not be losing that many drones. That's what they're going to be saying. Information is king when it comes to Rainbow Six Siege. Taylor's orders time. The drones are so important. You've got the Ayana. There's Rotoro drones as well. Yes, granted, they're so good for utility clear, but you're still getting information from them. Cruelty need that information, right? This is the problem. They are reacting, they're face checking stuff. They have to face check stuff because they just don't have the intel they need. They can't get the positioning of the enemy because they don't know where they are. This needs to be a bit better, a little bit safer. Hopefully that's what we'll see from them now, or at least immediate reactions to information. Getting a little bit closer.
Oh. What Team Cruelty pull out after their timeout, now attacking Garage. Hopefully what they pull out is a swift and efficient full top-down clear into a wine execute. That would be cool. That'd be nice. They do know that Unfixed is here on blue, and the Malusi's, of course, just going to shoot the drone and fall back. Does not want to risk getting smoked. And there's no one on the drone that Pixie has just walked by. So he's going to be looking for a kill, and he finds 2.
There's no way. Like, my mouth is wide open. Like, again, the flank drones. The information. That was so free for Pixie, and it should not have been. I don't think, like, this is very uncomfortable for Cruelty. This is not Cruelty's best form at all. They should be doing a lot better than what they're doing right now. 9Z are walking circles around them.
Well, they get 1 kill back on a Faxi. 3v4 now. At least there's no one left on the roam. Hatch is open for them. How's he going to deal with the shield by Pillar if he can get it past this Warden? So he is going to deal with the Banshee on the wine table first. Seems like this execute is mainly going to come just down the main stairs. It's going to be a simple walk down. Roby lands a very nice headshot onto Unfixed, but now has to contest with the close shotgun from Victory, which downs and finishes Alan Durf. Victory looking for another. Down goes Roby as they stand absolutely no chance up against the shotgun. Toski finds himself in connector, but he whiffs on the Azami, and Pixie finds his 3rd kill of the round. Map point for 9Z.
Map point indeed. I can almost smell border now. Realistically, do Cruelty have it in them right now to be able to pull this to overtime? It's not been a good attack at all from them. Losing 3 rounds in a row. Again, fundamentals very shaky right now. Drone eco out the window. I said this at the start. Chalet is attacker-sided if you know how to approach that attack. And a really big part of it, you know, yes, granted, they know the direction they're pushing from, but the coordination of, okay, how are we getting this information? How are we working out where everything is? Are we watching our flanks? That seems a little bit out the window right now for Cruelty. It feels a completely different vibe right now compared to how they usually play Crow.
Nightmares about this util clear upstairs on bar if they don't do it right this time. You even got Victory flexing on the Warden, assuming the Ying from Cruelty, which is a beautiful read. Capitao too, Dokkaebi. I'm a little bit worried. This is also a weird shield from 9Z. All right. But if they try to... Actually, I mean, they're going to be falling right into the Warden's trap.
Slightly.
And...
Already. There we have it.
Spoke to
9Z.
Spawn Peak.
Yeah.
That's full.
At this point, you know, you're comfortable, you've got the breathing space to do it. Try something a little bit spicy. Try something a little bit naughty. And that's exactly what 9Z are going to do right now. They are feeling very confident. They are feeling very comfortable. At this point, they're like, okay, lads, we have the opening pick. All we need to do now is just play for these ones, which have been going really well for us. Again, a similar situation. We're seeing these Candelas getting prepped, ready to roll into games, ready for that direct collapse. It's something that we saw, you know, 9Z try. Not the most favorable approach, in my opinion.
Especially if they don't have any control of anything else. Here's the Dokkaebi call. The Lion call too. Is this going to open up the opportunity for the push? No moving pieces. This Kiva setup in the library is going to be too much for Rovi to overcome by himself. Toski's got the bomb, but he's stuck in coat check. Someone even watching his position from short. Pixie drops Navy in lobby, so there goes your Lion. Ellen Durf at least downs Nilv. Pixie kills Rovi just to make matters worse for this attack. Nilv finally gets finished off. Unfixed lit up on blue, but now they know Toski's still here in coat. Look at this. Pixie's just going to hold on this window. There's nothing that they can do about it, at least until the Candela comes out. Maybe this is going to open up opportunity for the Ying, but no, the Candela goes right past him, and Pixie picks up the kill. 9Z with a confident bounce back on Chalet to bring us to border.
And you know what? I love that for them. I actually love that for them. Given how that clubhouse went for them, very, very squiffy. Fundamentals out the window. At this point, it felt like a completely different team. They knew exactly what they wanted to do. Granted, yes, it was their map pick. But especially when it came to that defense, you know, Cruelty, they really struggled with their attacks for this map. And that's kind of surprising when we consider, you know, the caliber of that team historically.